Hi guys, welcome to my channel, and today we will talk about semester second assignments for the subject business law, and this is for June 2023 cycle, which is a regular cycle and applicable for all the students who have enrolled and now in second semester. Although you have already given the first semester assignments and you are already aware of all the stuff, just giving a quick brief about the assignments. It covered the 30 marks out of the overall 100 marks, so 30% is the weightage, and each assignment for each subject is having three questions: first, second, third A, and third B. So each question carries 10 marks, and the maximum word count is 1,000 words, plus minus 10% is totally acceptable. Two important things which I reiterate in each of my video, in every video, is first one is copy case. So guys, don't share your assignments with anyone. Otherwise, to whom you will share, that will get 0 marks, as well as you also get the 0 marks. So beware of sharing the assignments with your friends or colleagues. And plagiarism. So write the assignment on your own words. Yes, you can refer to book, internet, Google, uh, books, and a number of sources to just refer the content. But at the end of the day, you need to write the stuff in your own words to just don't get into the trap of plagiarism. So plagiarism is simply like you are getting the content from internet and you are just using it, right? So now let's jump to our let's jump to this video wherein we discuss about the question, what is being asked in the question, what needs to be written, what content we can write, and what page numbers to refer. It's simply a small trick and tips to just score the maximum marks. Let's see firstly about the assignments. Okay, so this is the assignment which is available on your portal. You can just simply go to log into your NMIMS portal, go to the left panel under which you will get exams, and in exams you will get assignments, and where you can just download this PDF file. So it's for June 2023 cycle. If you are getting downloaded it from somewhere, then also make sure that you are just checking this stuff at the top, like the June 2023 cycle. They are having the four questions. Let's see. Firstly, we talk about the very first question. Before starting this, I just want to give a brief about the business law. So this subject is purely a theoretical based subject, and we normally call it as a rectification. Why? Because here there are a number of sections, rules, acts, uh, certain years. You just simply need to learn those things, right? So during the exams as well, you are having the strong power to just absorb all these different act rules and things that they doesn't have any uh, practical meaning, or you can definitely they are used in our day-to-day life, but we are not sure that if you are using EPF, you are using gratuity. You know gratuity comes under which act? I think 1972. EPF under 1952. So there are a number of laws under different years that you need to memorize, right? So if we talk about this assignments, there might be a possibility that few stuff will be the same as other students because acts, rules, notifications, provisos will remain the same. That's why the content before that or the after part, like the introduction or concluding part, that you need to write it down in your own words. Let's talk about the very first question. Free consent is important, essential element of a valid contract. Explain what is free consent and the instances under which the free consent is an agreement would be affected. Provide Please provide the examples for each of the such instance. So firstly, we need to understand that what is consent in the contract, and after that we need to give certain examples or instances where it can be affected, right? So it's directly being referred and mentioned over the book. So which page numbers to refer? It's going to the page number 12. Firstly, we need to give a brief that okay, what is contract and what does free consent means. So here it's mentioned, free consent, as the name suggests, that it's a free agreement between the different parties, purely based on certain kind of terms or relationships or maybe some other reason, and it should not include the coercion, under influence, fraud, misinterpretation, or mistake, right? So these are the five terms. You just give a brief, and after that you need to elaborate these stuff. Going to the page number 22. Free consent, it's a free when the agreement is made between this and is free from any kind of force, or you can say any kind of pressure. Then there are different sections: 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, 22. Section 15 talks about the question, 16 talks about under influence, 17 talks about fraud, 18 talks about misinterpretation, 19 sorry 20, 21, 22 talks about the mistake. Now you need to explain each of this, like the consent versus free consent, that it's straightly been mentioned, right? What's the difference between consent and free consent. After that, you need to mention each of the terms which we discussed earlier, like coercion means doing something or prohibiting something using some force or threat. There is one example you can mention, you have to mention because it's being asked in the question. The next is undue diligence, when the party is in a position to dominate the other party. It's something dominating because he is having the aware of all the circumstances. Next is fraud. Fraud is simply the, as the name suggests, misinterpretation of the material or the existing facts. Misrepresentation, representing the wrong things. Mistake is simply when you are giving some error due to some of your innocence, or maybe you are not aware by the detail, by the acts, laws, or the facts. So these are the different ones which are given. You can mention this case law if needed, if you think that the word count is not reaching 2000 words, or maybe you just want to give an additional example, like if we talk about one of the case study, which is Gallows versus Gallows, or you can say Anikam Hal Singh versus Union of India, that you can specify if you want to, but not a mandate part, right? So this is all about the first question which you need to refer. Going to our second question, uh, please highlight the two instances where courts in India have intervened to protect the environment or prevent degradation or pollution of the environment. Kindly note that these instances should be real life cases. So it seems to be pretty much straightforward. Firstly, we need to talk about, okay, what is Environment Protection Acts. Maybe you can say it's a pollution act, air pollution, water pollution. There are a number of acts. After that, you need to specify two instances. So it should be a real life, means it should be a case study where you are specifying, okay, the government has taken the necessary action to protect the environment from pollution or getting it degraded, right? So let's see, going to the page number 371. So firstly, we are talking about the introductory part, that India environmental law, what was this all about when it was enacted, and what are the different acts into this, like the NGT Act, Air Pollution, Water Pollution, Hazardous Act, Wildlife Protection Act, Forest Conservation, Public Liability, Biological Diversity Act, right? So these are the different acts. Then you need to, maybe you can just give one or two liners, like if you see, it's not needed that you just write the whole story. You just refer to the first paragraph, write two or three liners. Why I am saying, because if you just only write about the case study, it will be a little bit shorter one. So just to make it, because it will go around 600 700 words, just to make additional 300 words, I would suggest to just write one or two liners of each of these, and make sure indentation should be proper, should be clear, right? Like the NJT Act, you can just read the first two paragraphs and just write two or three liners max to max, right? Once it will be done, then move to the page number 392. If you talk about the 392, so where there are two cases which are being mentioned. One was against Hindustan Agrochemical Limited, and the second one was ordered the report against the Medical Pollution Committee, and it was against some common, there's something Medical Pollution Control Committee Growth Center, which was located in Jhansi or UP, right? So these are the two real life case studies. It's not mandate that you need to write only these two. Maybe you can just refer one or the another one from internet, or maybe you can just refer both of these from the internet. In Google you will find n number of case studies against the for where it's mentioned there a judgment was taken by the, and for the Environmental Protection Act. So you can just get a number of case studies, you can just refer any two as per your requirement, right? So second question is also pretty much clear. Moving to the third question, Gaurav is a new joinee in the organization and he has certain queries with respect to the employee related laws. He has been directed to reach out with the queries. Kindly advise him. As the organization deducts the provident fund from the salary, can you please explain the applicability of the schemes under provident fund and how the calculation and apportionment of provident fund done against various schemes? So, guys, before starting this, I just want to make clear, and I am getting the query and number of times. Okay, sir, can we give a brief introduction about the third part, then write third A and third B? So, guys, there is nothing about the third question. It's only third A and third B, right? So when you just start writing answer, you can just mention answer 3A and then write answer 3B, right? So if we talk about the 3A part, so in 3A part, we need to explain about the provident fund, right? So if I just go to the page number 352, so firstly, we need to talk about the EPF 1952. Most of you are salaried and you are aware of the PF, which your where company is being deducting and which is being stored at you can say at your account, right? So you just need to understand that. And from your day-to-day experiences, also, I think there are only few topics of business law which will be useful, like the Pension Act, Gratuity Act, these like Labor Protection Act. These are the things which definitely relatable with your professional career. So I would suggest to just read it. Many a times people are not aware that how much it can be detected, what is the calculation, when you can withdraw, what are the different provisos under this. So I would recommend to just read it just for your general knowledge understanding, right? I was not aware earlier, so that's why I just read it and come to know a lot many things from it, right? So firstly, we need to write about okay, what is EPF. Then we just need to write about the objectives. Here we are coming under the three schemes: EPF 1952, pension scheme 1995, and deposit link insurance scheme 1976. So you should be aware that all these are the three schemes. Is three schemes. Then you need to write about the key provisos and features like what is the capping limit, what is the amount if you are having the salary more than can also join, or what is the retirement, what are the percentage of interest which is being getting, or how much it is being reduced from your salary and how much company is contributing. So all this stuff is being mentioned over here. I'm not much in detail, but yes, you can refer to all these pointers. After that, it's important to just write the calculation and the apportionment part, like how much of the employee contribution, how much is employer contribution, what are the different charges. So you need to just write these formulas, right? So third A question, I think is pretty much clear and straightforward. Moving to our third B question. In third B question, we are talking about the gratuity, who is entitled for gratuity and how is the payout of gratuity being calculated, right? So going to the page number 356. Yeah. So on page number 356, we are having the Gratuity Act. What is Gratuity Act? Again, you need to give a brief, then objectives and applicability. The similar one we had done for the previous survey part. Then entitlement of the gratuity, calculation of the gratuity. That thing you need to done. After that, I have just mentioned few additional things. You can mention the time of payment, forfeiture, and the maximum limit of gratuity payable, which is being mentioned on 358 page 9.8.4, 9.8.5, and 9.8.6. These are not mandate, but if you think you are having short of words and you want to give a little bit more explanation, you can surely write it down at the last. But I think if you didn't write these, there also all the things which we have covered earlier are covering the ask of the question, so these can be avoided, right? So this is all about the third B question. And again, if you have any doubts or facing any challenge regarding to assignment for any semester, or any exam related content, or maybe you are not sure how to study and what's the smart ways of study, feel free to just connect to me at ngasc.mba@gmail.com. Please share your contact details. If you want to just connect to me directly over the call, then surely I would be happy to connect. And if you like this video, do subscribe and stay connected for further videos. Thank you so much.